Welcome to Grace in the Grind, brought to you by Arrow and Roots Coffee Company, where faith meets the everyday. Here we slow down long enough to notice God's presence in the middle of life's busiest moments, to find encouragement, clarity, and a reminder of His grace in the grind of daily life. Now grab your coffee and let's take a sip of this cup together. In the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, we read, "It is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed, because His compassion failed not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." It's a verse many of us have heard our whole lives, sung in church, printed on wall art, maybe even written inside a greeting card. But what we often forget is where it comes from. These words weren't written from a place of comfort or joy. They weren't penned after a victory or blessing. They come from the middle of one of the darkest, most painful books in the Bible, Lamentations. This is a book written in the ashes of Jerusalem's destruction. The city was gone. The temple, the heart of Israel's worship, had been reduced to rubble. Families were scattered, leaders defeated, hope felt distant. Imagine our greatest enemy invading our capital city, not just capturing it, but leveling it to the ground. Imagine the heartbreak, the disbelief, the deep sense that everything familiar and safe had been ripped away. That's the setting. That's where Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, sits and writes. And yet, right in the middle of all the sorrow, he pauses. He looks around at the devastation, and instead of giving in to despair, he remembers something true about God. He says, "It is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed. His compassion fail not. They are new every morning." It's almost jarring, isn't it? In the middle of grief, hope. In the middle of lament, worship. In the middle of loss, faith. Jeremiah doesn't deny the pain. He doesn't pretend everything's fine, but he recognizes that even in ruin, God's character hasn't changed. His mercy didn't disappear when life fell apart. His compassion didn't fail when circumstances did. That's the heart of this verse. And honestly, that's the heart of Grace in the Grind. We don't wait for the big, miraculous moments to see God's hand. We find Him in the middle of the mess, in the weary mornings, in the quiet routines, in the grind. Maybe for you, this week hasn't looked like a victory either. Maybe you're carrying stress from work or exhaustion from parenting or questions about where life's headed. Maybe you're just tired of showing up, tired of doing the same thing over and over without seeing much change. But listen, the fact that you woke up this morning means mercy met you again. God's compassion renewed itself before you ever poured your first cup of coffee. He hasn't failed you. He hasn't forgotten you, and He's not finished with you. The beauty of that verse, "They are new every morning," is that God doesn't recycle yesterday's grace. He doesn't use the leftovers. He gives you fresh mercy every morning. Enough for this moment, enough for this grind. You may feel stretched thin, but you're not consumed. You may feel uncertain, but you're sustained, because His faithfulness isn't dependent on your strength. It rests completely on His. So as you take your first sip of coffee today, breathe this truth in deep. God is faithful, right here, right now. Not only when things are easy, not only when the blessings are obvious, but in the struggle, in the slow grind, in the quiet moments that no one else sees, His mercy still finds you. Let that truth settle into your heart today. Let it remind you that every morning, no matter what waits ahead, comes wrapped in new grace. You're not consumed. You're sustained, because great is His faithfulness.